welcome to the Carrington Show. So glad that you could join us. Today's going to be a hot one. I'm just going to give you, hey, I have Mika in the house. Hey. Just going to give you guys a couple seconds to log in and just join us. So when you come on board, just tell me a little hello, and I know that you're there, so I can say hey, and let me know what you did this weekend so I could hear all about it. Hi guys, happy Monday. Welcome to the Carrington Show. So glad that you could join us. Hi, good to see you. Just comment below and say you're here and let me know what you did for the weekend. Today we're going to be talking about sex after divorce. So it's going to be, we're going to have some intimate conversations, and we're going to really go some places that I know some of us are feeling a bit awkward. So let's have that conversation today, right? Hey, thanks for joining. Just going to give you guys a couple more seconds to log in. And if you're joining me for the first time, the Carrington Show is every Monday at 7 p.m. on Frequency 5 FM live. So you could just live stream with us and join the conversation. Okay guys, I'll give you a couple more seconds and then we're going to get this show started. Hey, hi, thanks for joining. Hi Kim, how are you? Thanks for joining. Hey Angela. And before we start, I just want to give a huge thank you to my sponsors. I have Bougie Cosmetics, who has created this stunning makeup lipstick line for me. And today I'm wearing Checkmate. Checkmate meaning, you know what? Checkmate, like, I've won. I've got this. Yeah, I've got this. I've got this one. So thank you, Bougie Cosmetics. Also, I have Ginny Lou from Isogenics, and she's one of my sponsors, and she has me on this healthy tip right now. So I'll put both websites at the bottom of this video so that you guys can follow along with them. Okay, guys, I'll give you guys a couple more seconds to log in, and then we're going to get started. Hey, hi, Michelle. How are you? My favorite, most beautiful cousins from Ottawa is joining us today. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining. Hey, Doris. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. We're going to get right into it. We have a lot to cover today. And for those of you who are watching for the first time, the Carrington Show is all about mental wellness and healthy mindsets and healthy relationships. And we talk about our ups and our downs and our insecurities and our failures and our achievements. And we do that in a judgment-free, safe zone where everyone feels that they could express themselves and we could learn from each other and leave the Monday feeling ready for the week. Yes. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest, Mika. She is a published author. Hey, and Mika, if you could just, her book is with us today. This book, I'm not going to steal your thunder, but just tell us a little bit about this book, the title, and what it's all about.
So this is my baby, my fourth child. It is actually an international #1 bestseller. It's called The Powerful Lessons I've Learned, Online Dating After Divorce. And it's actually one woman's journey after she got divorced, a sudden divorce, and a girlfriend recommended to her that she should try online dating. Now, she thought that online dating, it was just going to be like, you know, you're in the real world, right? Like, you're going to meet people, you're going to have a good time. It was a completely different world. I mean, she experienced things like being scammed, attempted scammed, being lied to, being caught in situations where men were married, like so much drama. So much is in this book. You can actually get a copy of the book by connecting with me on Facebook. So Mika Van Veel or Mika Van Veel Author, which is my business page. And also check out the website for the book, lessonsafterdivorce.com.
I love it. Lessons After Divorce. And I see that we have Patty and saying great book, lots of lessons. And speaking of lessons, guys, let's just dive right into it, because all day I've had people just messaging me and saying, you know what, I just got out of my marriage, or I've been divorced, or I was in this relationship for a long time and we recently broke up. And you go through all those feelings of the breakup and the divorce, and I'm sure all of us, some of us have been in a long relationship, and we know how that feels to have the pain of the breakup.
Yes.
So there's a lot of pain there. There's a lot of hurt. But then there's that other part of that.
Absolutely.
You know where I'm going, Mika. You know where I'm going.
I do.
And we're going to talk about how to have sex minus the insecurities after the breakup or long divorce. How to get back into the game. How to get over that hurdle. How to, I don't know, just be able to have that confidence back. Yeah, exactly, that transition.
Yeah.
And guys, I'm just going to read an excerpt from Mika's book. And if I'm able to just give a little taste.
Just a little bit.
A little taste. This is the part, Mika, one of my favorite parts, when you had divorced, you had separated. You were married for how long?
7 years. We were together for 11.
11. And then you met this guy, and this was one of your first sexual experiences.
It was actually the first.
The first.
It wasn't the first encounter or experience with somebody outside of the divorce, but this was when I felt comfortable enough taking it up a notch.
Right.
Yeah, and Karen absolutely loves this part.
This is my part. Hey,
yeah,
Brian.
you could give a little bit of a tease.
Okay, I'm gonna give a little tease. Hey, Grant. Hey, Evan. Thanks for joining me. Nice to see the men on the line and the men who just joined me. And hey, Andrew, the men who just joined me. You guys are gonna hear Mika's first sexual encounter after divorce. So, okay. He was sweet, and I couldn't get over how gorgeous he was. We got a hotel room, had our bottle of wine, and turned the music on. We tried chilling for a bit. We tried chilling for a bit just to talk, but realized that there was no need to fight it. There it was. It was finally here. What felt like a piece of heaven. Finally, a release. We went at it all night and all morning with very little sleep. Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. But I loved every minute of it. I felt liberated. This was yet another brand new experience.
Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Producer said Energizer. Did I really just do that? Did I really just have a one-night stand? Yeah. Yes. Kim goes, excuse me. And yeah. Hey, Donna.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a one-night stand.
Yeah,
one-night stand. And you know what? No, it's not naughty. It's not. No. Let's change that vocabulary. It's not naughty. A one-night stand is needed sometimes after a long relationship, a breakup. That one night stand, like you wrote in your book, can be very liberating.
Exactly.
Right? It can be very liberating.
Yes.
So let's go there. How does that one night stand, how can we change our mindset from that naughty feeling to it's liberating?
So this is the thing. That was 2 years ago. Hey, Donna Savage. How are you, darling? This is the thing. 2 years ago, when I just came out of the divorce, I'll be back on Friday. When I just came out of the divorce, it just goes to show exactly where I was mentally. I had spent 11 years of my life with this one person, and I was, even prior to him, I was never the type of person, I didn't grow up knowing what dating was. Like you'll notice when you read the book, a chapter in the book was my first dating experience at 32 years old. I didn't know what it was like, quote unquote, you know, the North American Canadian way to date. And I get into that a little bit in the book, but it was weird because here I was having an encounter and interaction with somebody else who wasn't my husband. And this was a few months after, you know, the whole divorce thing hit me. And I remember some of the thoughts that were going through my head was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm cheating on him. And then I would have to, like, you know, slap myself and be like, girl, no, like,
you ain't cheating.
It's done. It's over.
It's done. It's
you know
over.
what I mean? But
right.
It just goes to show where you are after something like that. Such a trauma hits you and you're not able to conceptualize even the reality of it's done. Like, it's over. Now what do I do? What do I do with my feelings? What do I do with my emotions? And I can guarantee you, in the majority of the times when you do go through that experience, those feelings they're negative, right? So of course you look at it as being naughty because that's what you grow up learning. That's what you grew up hearing, a one night stand. Oh, girls don't do that. Good girls don't have one night stands. But you know what?
Right.
Oh my God, it was probably one of the most freeing experiences, because when I got myself to a place where I was like, no, you're not cheating on him. You're not with him anymore. He's actually moved on with his life.
Probably having sex right now.
Exactly.
Right.
And I was just like, hold on a second. But another thing that I noticed that it did for me was it brought me out of this tense space, right? And that's where a lot of us, especially as women, we find ourselves when we do go through a breakup. We're still so attached to the past and what happened in the past and the negativity and the hurt and the pain. And it leaves us in this space of just being so tense, we don't allow ourselves to move on.
And to move on and to be open to new experiences.
Right? New experiences,
new
opportunities, to let anybody
right?
new in, just to new, like, joy. We don't... If you really think about whenever you've been through such trauma, you've been through a breakup, after a long-term relationship or anything like that, it's almost like it feels good to sit in the pain because of the attention that it brings. Because you don't have to put any work into actually moving on.
Right. Exactly.
So,
and Donna says, free yourself. Hey, Andrea. Hey, Therese. Hey, Sheena.
That's exactly what I preach now.
Free yourself. Guilt-free.
You have to do to free yourself, and don't care about and worry about being judged by other people, because that's another reason why some people, we don't move forward and take our lives to that next level because
we're worried what someone else is going to think, right?
Exactly.
You worry about what other people think, especially with the one night stand. Like, I mean, I can't really say on air that we've all had one, but
up until that point, I never did.
Right.
And you would hear about these amazing experiences that,
and you're like, not me, no me, I couldn't do that.
And you'd be like, oh my God, I couldn't do that.
And what if he tells his friends?
But not just that. We and especially as women, we tend to get so emotionally attached.
We do.
Prior to having a sexual encounter. So you start thinking to yourself, we're communicating, oh my God, I like him, he likes me. Oh my God, what if this goes somewhere? What if we end up together? And what about my kids? We're going to end up in a relationship. And you ask yourself all these, you start going there. And you're basically marrying this man before you even get to meet this person sometimes. So
why do we do that though? I think we just...
It's a part of our nature, especially as women. We tend to plan ahead and we want to see into the future instead of living in the
moment.
Living in the now. And what happens when we go so far ahead, we miss the beauty of right now. You don't allow yourself to enjoy right now because you're like, oh my God, and he's so gorgeous, and oh my God, I wanted to be my man, and one time only, make him sign a paper one time only. I gotta start a one night stand contract.
True. But they want that too. Sometimes they like the fact that it's just the one night stand without the emotions attached.
But you know what it is? You know what it is? It's not just the men, because what I realized after that moment is, oh my goodness, I actually love this. I don't want, I'm in a space right now, emotionally and mentally, where I don't want to be committed. I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to have the extra bells and whistles that come with the relationship.
Right.
But I want to interact. I have needs too. I want to have sex. Right? So, and this is where I started to really analyze some of the men that were in my life. And it's like, to be completely honest, just be open and honest with me, because I'm going to be open and honest with you. And sometimes that's all I want. You just want to have that person in your life that's going to be there to take care of your needs, and vice versa. Not all women want the, oh my God, be in a relationship and let's go steady and you're my man.
No. Sex.
There you go. Sometimes that's really all you need, is to just get yourself taken care of and you're good to go.
Speaking of good to go, how do you feel about going back to your ex for that comfort? So you have that need that you need filled. Some women, what they do is they're scared to do that one night stand, or they're scared to like meet new guys or online dating, like you know, in your book where you took that courageous step of online dating. Like you and I went there after our divorce. We did the online dating and took that step and leap of faith, right?
Yes.
But some women feel comfortable like, girl, I'm just gonna go back to him. It's just easier that way. Still with the one night stand, but back with the ex.
Yes.
So what do we feel about that?
So here's my thing. I'm not there to judge anybody, but in my world, in my world, if I'm walking away from something, it was for a reason. So there's no reason for me to go back there, especially if it's just that once. You know what I mean? If I was meant to stay there,
then you would have left it there in the first place.
It wouldn't
but
have
it's
broken off.
Mika. It's comfortable,
but this is my thing. Remember, I said we choose to stay in the pain.
No, Andrea says no.
There you go. We choose to stay in the pain because it's comfortable. We choose not to have the one night stands with that new man
because it's uncomfortable, right?
But no, it's comfortable because we're gonna sit here and be good. Because if I have a one night stand, Karen's gonna judge me and be like, Lisa's a slut because she just went and slept with that guy. You know what I mean? So it's like.
It's better to be. You're right.
It's very easy for me to do. But when you really sit and you analyze the situation, why am I going to walk? If I walked away from something, or if something was taken away from me, why would I choose to go back there just for a sexual experience? And I don't care how good it is, because you know what? As good as it was, there's always going to be a next man that's coming after him that's going to be just as good or better.
Right.
And you will never get to experience that until you allow yourself the freedom to do so.
Exactly. And you know what? I know I'm seeing people on the line that's going crazy tonight. And some people are saying,
I love it.
Right? And some people are saying, well, you know what? It's a safe sex it's a safe sex. It's not just mentally and emotionally, but physically it's safer.
But what is safe about that would be my question. Why aren't y'all together then if it was that
so safe? Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He's good enough to have sex with, or she's good enough to have sex with, but he or she's not good enough for you to try to build a life with or have a relationship with.
Right, exactly. So, we're talking about one night stands and we're endorsing safe sex, right?
Yeah.
Right. We always want to have ourselves wrap it up, right? And another thing I want to talk about is one of the insecurities we have, especially, in our age group, right? I'm a little bit older and our bodies change. I'm still, right?
We are.
Right. So our bodies change. And I think that plays a role in the insecurities. It's not just the emotional insecurity, but things shift a bit, right? And so when you're with this new partner or this one night stand guy, I think something that holds us back is that things aren't all, like they used to be.
And see, this is the thing. With anything in life, it's all about choice and how comfortable you feel, especially with that other person. And I guess I was just blessed in a sense that, of course, I have insecurities with my body. There's things about my body that if I think about it too hard, I'd be like, yeah, I'd want to change that. But I was blessed enough to be, I love my legs. I'm not changing those at all.
Yes, Denise.
But one of the things that I found, I guess I was just blessed in a sense that the person that I ended up having that one night stand with, it was almost like I was being worshipped and every part of me was being worshipped.
Yeah.
So I had no room to feel insecure because even before or actual meeting in person, that's how I felt. And that's why it's like, okay, well, I agreed to meet in person. And you meet this person and it's like, oh my God, like this is crazy. I can't remember the last time somebody made me
like that or feel like that.
Even
like guys in this book, like what did you say? It was like a release.
Exactly. Who's watching? Yeah, right.
And then what did you write in here? What did you write in here? You said it felt like a piece of heaven.
Exactly.
Finally, I like the way you said
finally a release.
Finally a release. But I think when you say release, a little bit of physical, right? A little bit of physical. But I think there was a lot of an emotional release there because it was a lot of that.
Because it had been a few months. And like I said, being in a long-term relationship together for 11 years, and that just ended. Now I had to adjust my world to have to deal with that. So there was a lot of trauma. And I guess we related on a number of different levels. But one of the levels we also related is that he was also going through the same thing that I was going through. He was going through a divorce as well. So we had an opportunity, I guess, in some sense, we talked about it. It was almost like we got to celebrate each other. Right?
Okay,
because he's coming from a space where he was feeling, a little bit neglected and not so much like he mattered, and same thing on my end. But it was a great release, like physically, and a great mental release, emotional release, because here was this person, the first person that made me feel in a very long time like you matter,
worship,
and every
part of you matters. Like Kim even writes, she says,
you
look what Kim writes, look what Kim
matters.
says, if the individual isn't worshiping your body, they don't deserve it.
Exactly.
Boom.
I absolutely agree 100%, Kim. And these are some of the things, I'm not saying, you know, go out and go find a man and be like, yeah, let's do the deed. But you, just like everything else, you have to be at a level where you feel like, okay, I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share my body with you. Even if it might not be a long-term relationship, you have to be in a space where you're opening up your space to allow somebody else in. And for me, a huge part of that is you've got to be able to stimulate me mentally before I can even get there. And I'm going to say, from this person, I met him online, and from his very first message, that was exactly
what did he say to you again? What did he say to you again?
Girl,
what did he say? What did he say?
It's in the book.
It's in the damn book. Read it. What page?
All right. Okay.
Yo, guys, let me
fine.
This was Mr. Wonderful,
This
right?
is Mr. Wonderful.
Like, guys, in her book, and we'll put the website at the bottom of this video so that you can reach out with Mika.
So you guys will see the names of the chapters. The majority of them, well, the experiences, they're named after these men. They're not their actual names, but I actually gave them characters.
So his name's not really Mr. Wonderful?
No, but in my world, his name is Mr. Wonderful. So I'm going to go to page 60. And what I did in the book is I actually have some screenshots
of the text message.
Of some of the messages. Mr. Pinky. No, not Mr. Pinky. No.
Read. Come on.
All right. So this was his message. Hi, beautiful. How are you? This is about to be one of those moments you remember for a while because you asked to meet a man like me, in control of his own reality. I like your profile message. You're a god in this realm. You just have to realize it. I was just like, all right then, who are you? What are you about? And why are you messaging me this right now? Like, for real? Like, yes.
So even just the way he came at you was a turn on, right?
Yes.
Like,
straight from the get-go.
Guys just need to come
straight.
And from what he wrote, you knew what category he was in.
I knew exactly
what was up. You knew what was up.
From that one message, it was almost like I had a little taste of what's inside his head. And why I was so attracted to that, just the message, is because that's exactly where I was at in my life.
Right. Okay, so because you're at that place in your life, that type of message is acceptable.
Yes.
Like when you're in a relationship or you're married, all of a sudden you're like, ugh.
Exactly.
Right? You don't want that type of message.
No.
But when you're ready for that one night stand, or guys, it doesn't even have to be a one night stand, but you're ready to get back into the game. Sometimes it's all about, Mika, I wanted to ask you, like, how do we feel about when we're going to do this one, not necessarily one night stand, but do we want to do the lingerie? Like, do we want to go all out for this new person? Do we want to, you know what I mean?
Me personally, I love lingerie. I love dressing up. And I love it. I love it even more. In my eyes, it's dressing up because I get dolled up.
Right.
You gotta smell right. You gotta look right. Victoria's, you can, hell yeah. Or even Donna Savage. Her lingerie.
Or your bathing suit. The bathing suits I buy from you, even
there you go.
Right.
Yes. Donna Savage. A Savage Desire Angel. There you go.
Right.
I love getting myself ready for the person I'm going to be with, and especially if he likes that too. Right, I like going the extra mile.
The extra mile, and you're so right. You know what? We get ready for to go to a wedding or to an event. We dress up, lashes, nails, did makeup. So when you're about to have sex, think of it like an event, like a wedding, like anything that you would dress up for.
It's an adventure.
It's an event. It's an adventure. You need to come correct, right? And I know that some people think, well, you know what? It's a one night stand. Like, one night stands aren't always scheduled. You don't know what's going to happen, right? But you kind of have a feeling that this is where it might go.
But remember, especially especially as women, listen. I'll send you my invoice, not Savage.
Right?
Especially as women, what a lot of women don't understand, we get to dictate where these encounters go, right? So if you decide that yes, it's going to be a one night stand, or yes, you want to have sex tonight, guess what's going to happen? exactly that. So if I'm choosing to get all dolled up, if I'm choosing to smell right, if I'm choosing to make sure that certain things are on point, it's because I know exactly where that interaction is going to go.
You know what's going. You know what's up.
Exactly.
Right, correct.
And if I choose not to do those kinds of things, it's because, bro, it's not going to go there tonight.
Oh, right. Yeah. And you know
we have so much power and we don't even realize it as women.
Well, we downplay it a lot, right? We downplay our sexual power. And, this show's all about mental wellness and healthy mindsets. And sexuality and mental wellness really do go hand in hand. There is a correlation there. There really is.
Absolutely.
Your confidence in the bedroom really stems from a place of your confidence of your mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. Not being in a space where you feel like you're mentally well, you don't want to let anyone else in that space, physical space,
right?
And your sex life absolutely gets impacted, and that's why I preach so hard mental wellness and emotional wellness. And a lot of times when you dig deep and you dive into it, what sort of feeds into mental health and in a negative way is where we choose to remain after such trauma, like a divorce or after a breakup. And it's in that negative space. It's in the bitterness. It's in the anger. It's sitting in the I'm a victim and oh my God, this happened to me. If you're not conscious of where you are and you choose to sit there,
stay in that,
it starts to affect you negatively. It starts to affect your mental health negatively, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. It does. And you know what? Mental wellness, it's our accountability, right, to take care of our mental wellness.
Yes.
And yes, you could always seek help or whatnot, but a part of it is self-care.
Absolutely.
A part of it is self-care. And when we think of self-care, we think of, the spa or the pedicure or hair done or whatnot. But honestly, guys, if we can go there tonight, a part of self-care is self-care sexually taking care of yourself.
But now that you've touched on that, I'm going to touch on self-care for a bit. So I had this crazy idea to put together an event called It's a Spacation. And the first one was yesterday.
Right.
And the first one was yesterday. And it was 11 women that were in the spa. I really wanted it to be very intimate. And that's exactly what I got. The ladies, it was an opportunity for the ladies to come out and just to be removed from the real world for a few hours.
Right.
And to really be pampered and to be taken care of and give them a space where they can come in judgment free and just feel free to release. And it was almost like magic was created in that spa, because just going around, and I'll post pictures and I'll post videos of these women. But just hearing what these women were saying, as busy as they are in their lives, they looked
We don't
great.
have a time
They
for this.
looked great, but one of my questions to them when I asked them to share about themselves was, okay, so what does Karen's self-care
look like? And we have
like?
Victoria on the line, and I did a workshop for her as well on self-care.
Yes.
And she has a question, so I just want to get to that, not to cut you off, but it really ties into what we're talking about in the workshops we do on self-care.
Yeah.
And then Victoria, she says, I'm not a one-night stand person. And she said, right. So she's not, and so she says, I'm not a one-night stand person, but kudos to you ladies, you rock. Question for you, do you think one-night stands can have a negative effect on your self-confidence and your mind? I love that question.
Absolutely. Just like everything. It absolutely can, but it also goes back to how you allow it to affect you. Because if you go into it with expectations and those expectations aren't met, that's when you're going to be let down. But if you go into it and in your head, this is a one-night stand, listen, I'm going to get it and I'm going to be out. I don't want nothing else from you.
Right.
There's nothing for me to feel let down about or for.
If you went in with the right intention.
Exactly. You go with the right intention and you don't have any expectations. You don't believe or you don't want it or you don't really care if it goes anywhere because you know exactly what your intention is.
But you know what, Mika, to touch on that, maybe where Victoria's coming from is one-night stands aren't usually planned. Okay, that's sometimes the element of a one-night stand. It's hot, it's steamy.
Sometimes
they're not
sometimes they
planned.
are.
So how about that time when it's not planned? It's hot, it's heavy, it's steamy, it happened, and maybe where she's going is, how does that affect your mindset? You're like, what did I just do? What did I just do?
So hopefully, if that does happen, you're not under the influence. So you're conscious of what's going on, right? Absolutely, it will be an explosion if that happens. But hopefully, you're not under the influence of any type of alcohol or drugs or anything like that. So you're conscious of what's going on. But always remember that in that moment, you do have a choice. And there's always a positive and a negative to everything, right? Like, what if this one night stand happens and I feel great afterwards and I'm liberated? But what if it happens and then, oh my God, I feel like garbage because I really didn't want that to happen.
And sometimes we do feel bad after. Let's call it what it is. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we do. Even guys do. Even I have guys that message me and, you know, they feel, they saw the topic of the show and they felt bad because for the man, they want to give a stellar performance.
Yeah. And that was like your one shot.
That was your one shot at the award and he blew it, right? And so sometimes he does feel like crap, like I didn't perform well.
Yes.
You know, or the girl feels like, what I just do, I feel dirty.
Yes.
Sometimes we feel like, we feel shame. We feel shamed.
VIP list.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
You could segment them
Right,
and have
true.
a VIP list. But to be completely honest, guys, and I don't mean to sound like a complete douche, but
Do shit. Go on, bring it. Get dirty. Go on.
in my world, it sort of is what it is. Like it already happened, right? So how I view things now, if I can't go back in time to change what happened and how it happened, it doesn't deserve my attention anymore for me to allow it to affect me in that way.
Right.
That's
right.
I just got it's straight goods. Just because of where I'm at. You know what I mean? It is what it is. If I know I'm not going to be getting another opportunity or like a redo, I got to take myself through the steps of releasing that moment. And I'll analyze it. I'll go back to, what did I learn from it? Right?
Okay,
Why did this come into my space? What was it there to teach me?
Right.
Maybe I'm living in a space where I need to start paying more attention to the choices that I'm making. Maybe that was it. And that's all that it was.
And that's all it was.
It was there
that's
to
an experience.
It was there to
experience.
teach me a lesson.
It taught me something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Guess
exactly.
what? Right now I'm here. Right now that is back there. And I cannot go back there and get it. So you know what? I'm going to make a conscious decision to leave it where it is. And every time it comes up in my mind, sorry, that's
No,
in the
that's back
past.
in the past.
No, sorry,
Back in the past.
No, I got to live in right now. Because you know what? That will affect every single sexual experience I have from now moving forward. And I'm not about to let that happen. So I'm going to leave it back there. Leave it where it is.
Right, leave it where it is and love it for what it is and learn from it. Because even the title is called Powerful Lessons I've Learned.
That is exactly why. Because I could have taken every single one of these experiences and they could have buried me. But I got myself to a point where I was like, no, this cannot keep on happening over and over and over and over. What is going on? What are these things meant to teach me?
Right.
And that's when I flipped the script. And I started to use a different perspective on every single one of these experiences. And you just got to be able to take that approach to absolutely
everything in your life.
Because you know what?
There's a lot of entrepreneurs on the line. There's a lot of mothers on the line. We've got a lot of men on the line. And a lot of them were hustlers. Like we make mistakes in our business.
Absolutely.
And what do? As entrepreneurs, we keep it moving. We learn from it and we keep it moving.
Yeah,
so same thing with sex. Like, why does sex have to be a taboo? It happened, it learned. And it doesn't have to be a mistake. We know in the entrepreneur world that, or even just in life, they're not mistakes, they're experiences. And that's what we talk about on my show. We talk about experiences. And a one-night stand, let's not leave tonight thinking that they're a mistake.
No.
They're an experience.
Yeah.
And what we're going to learn from tonight, that we don't have to go back to our ex that we're in the long relationship with. Move on. Move on. New fresh new opportunities, right? And you know what? If that one doesn't work, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving until
keep it going.
And you may not ever get back into a long relationship.
Try until you get what you're looking for.
Exactly. And you know what? Even for the men that are on the line, what we want to say to you is, after a long relationship, you know, sometimes some men, when they messaged me, said that they may overdo it. You know, they just go on a sex, like, rampage, right? And what do you say to the men? Like, do they need to maybe take that time to heal?
They
You know, just like a woman would, right?
We all do. We absolutely all do. You're doing yourself a disservice, and also the people that you're introducing into your life after this breakup a disservice, if man or woman, if you do not take this time to actually heal from this experience.
Yes.
Even if you are the one that broke things off, you know what? You were with this person for X amount of time. You had things in the relationship that you didn't agree with, that bothered you, that you had issues, communication issues, whatever it is. Don't feel that you have to jump into something right away
to fix it, to fill that void. You don't need to fill that void.
What I'm saying is, especially to my men, there's absolutely nothing wrong, number one, with you taking the time to actually working on yourself. Number two, if you feel like you do want to go on that, I gotta have women to have sex with, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. What I do, my only ask, and what I do recommend that you guys do, be open. You have women out there that they're looking for the exact same thing. So y'all will be completely happy together knowing that, yo, I can call up this girl and she can call up this dude,
and it's gonna go down, and we know what's up.
There's no expectation. There's no, oh my God, let's be in a relationship. Like, there's none of that.
Do what works for you.
Do, if that's what works for you to get you through this part of your life, do what you have to do. Do it safely. Do it respectfully. And do it, like, honestly and openly. Because you don't have to hide behind the whole, oh, baby, I'm looking for a relationship.
Right,
blah, blah, blah. As a woman, knowing that you've just coming out of a marriage, divorce, or whatever it is, I know you're not ready. Right?
So let's just...
I'm not gonna expect you to want to jump into a relationship right away, because you know what? When I just came out of my divorce, I wasn't ready.
Yeah, and that's okay, and that's...
Exactly.
And not being ready, and we'll end on this, I don't know if this makes sense, but not being ready is being ready. Like,
absolutely.
Not being ready is an okay space to be.
Absolutely.
It's an okay space to be.
Once you've recognized that you're not ready, you're recognizing that, okay, I need to put the brakes on some things.
Right, exactly.
And that alone is the first step to healing. Recognizing that you're not ready. I gotta step back. Exactly.
Yes, I gotta work on me.
Because you can't be expecting to pour into another man, another woman, and have this great relationship that we all desire to have at some point in our life after a traumatic experience like a divorce or anything like that. You can't be expecting to pour into them when you have
your
nothing
cup
to
is
pour.
empty. When your cup, when you're exactly. And speaking on that note,
right?
Take a sip of our drink. Mika, thank you so much for coming on today, guys. With Mika, we talked about her book. Yeah. It's going to be at the bottom of my video. We all know where to find Mika.
We all know where to find
Mika. Mika, thank you guys. Don't log out. Don't log out. We're just going to do a nice seamless switch.
Stay
right where you are. We're going to have a Toronto pop group called Reverse. They're amazing, and they're going to continue this conversation, and we're going to talk about self-acceptance.
Oh,
and
I love how the hearts and the lights, guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Love it.
Okay, I love you. Thank you. Come, Reverse. Come. Thank you, Mika. We're going to talk after. Guys, I have Reverse here with me. And while they're coming on, I'm just going to give a shout out to some of my sponsors. I have Bougie Cosmetics, who has my Checkmate lipstick on check today. And I have Jeannie Lou, has me on Isogenics, this healthy tip she has me on. Guys, come, everybody. Jump on, jump. Hey. We got Reverse in the house. Hey. Guys, thank you so much. Do we have space for y'all? Is it me who needs to leave? Right? I know you can squeeze. I know you can squeeze. Yeah, guys, while I'm just doing some stuff, just introduce yourself on the mic. Just let me move out of your space.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, everyone say their name.
Hello, everybody. We are Reverse.
Hello.
I'm Diz.
I'm Khadijah.
My name's Zach.
And I'm Monroe.
And we're here with Carrington.
And I'm Carrington. Hi. So, guys, this is Reverse. They just introduced themselves, but honestly, that introduction doesn't even do them justice. Like, when I met these guys, we had like an all-nighter powwow.
Yeah.
We're downtowners, right? And we were hanging out downtown in the condo life, and we were just exchanging stories about, like, as if we all knew each other, and we were talking about some of the ups and downs that we've been through, and we were talking about some of the hurts and the pains and the journey that you guys have been on to come together as a group. And guys, like, I'm gonna put all their information at the bottom of this video where you can get their CD. And I know you have an upcoming show on the 9th of December at the Distillery District. But before we get into all of that, I just want to touch on, for all my viewers, they know that this show is about healthy mindsets and healthy relationships and mental wellness. And what I love about you guys, not only do you have amazing power vocals, but you have an amazing message. And it resonates with me. It resonates with me as a mental health advocate. I've never really met a group that's so diverse, so open, so many different dynamics to you, yet you come together as one. And when I met you all and your stories, just about self-acceptance, if we could just share with the viewers, what does self-acceptance mean to you? Meaning, what was a moment where you felt not accepted, and how did you get over that? And I know that's a loaded question. I know, you're like, but I mean, that moment, not the surface ones, I mean the raw moment, that one. Those moments we shared that night in the condo. What's one moment that you had in your life at your lowest point where you felt not accepted by yourself or by others, and how did you get over that?
Sure. So for me, it is definitely a loaded question, or a loaded point in my life, because it wasn't one; it was many. Right? I have come to admit to myself that I'm powerless over many things, and that manifested itself in my life from drug and alcohol abuse to body dysmorphia and bulimia, and I always felt the need to fit in, so that's why kind of that image need. And,
I get you.
And so whereas once it was, I guess, weighed down on my life, now I'd like to think that to bring it forward and to say that, listen, you're good just as you are.
Just as is.
You don't need substances. You don't need to look a certain way. Just be yourself, because that's really that's what's going to carry you to people, and that's what's going to get you love. Not trying to be something that you're not.
That's why I love you. That's why. Because you were yourself, right? That's why I fell in love with you, right? And thank you for sharing that, right? So, self-acceptance, Monroe.
Hey.
Monroe, guys. Monroe. I remember your story, but if you could tell the viewers that point of self-acceptance where you felt your lowest, darkest point where you didn't feel accepted, and how did you get over that?
I think for me, it's more of, well, I am the plus size singer of the group, right? And I am plus size. It's obvious. Hi. And I think being a singer in the industry, it's very hard to be a plus size singer and do what we do.
Okay, especially
right?
in the industry,
in the industry. So I feel like for me, that was always the struggle. It was like, am I ever going to make it because I am the way that I am? Right? So it was because of these guys here that actually told me, they're like, no, you know what? You're good.
You're good. You're good.
You are
You're
good.
Right.
And it took me a long time, because, for a while, I didn't want to eat anything. I didn't want to wear certain things. I didn't want to go out in public because I was scared people were like watching me, like there's so many things that go through your head. And I had to overcome that fear to be like, you know what? I am okay, and I am beautiful, and I am talented, and God put me here to do something.
Amen.
So,
Amen. And you have to repeat that. Is there days where you have to repeat that to your... No, okay.
Yes.
I thought you were like, no.
No, like every day. Every day. you know, like as women in general, I think we have that struggle within ourselves
every day.
You know, because
day.
I feel like we are constantly being judged about our appearance, about our intellect, about everything.
What we say, how we carry ourselves,
exactly,
what we don't say, right?
Exactly.
And even with social media and the things that we have to compete with, right? It's it's a struggle, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of the social media thing, this kind of like piggybacks, goes back to your question, or you wanted us to answer what self-acceptance means for us. And for me personally, it means more than the awareness that we're more than these physical bodies.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you understand that this shell that we're walking through this life in is not the be all and all of everything, and you have the opportunity to connect with what's actually inside. For me, that's what self-acceptance means, and understanding like, wow, like there's a power that's inside of me that's bigger than all of this. Right? And once you can recognize that, you realize that, I mean, it is what it is. The outer shell, it is what it is, and I'll bathe it. I'll make it look pretty.
Okay, I'll lotion it. I'll smooth it up, right?
And all of those things. But that is not the number one thing that we should be focused on, and that's what that's at least what it means for me.
Okay.
And I know in this day and age, in this climate, like social media, Instagram, everything is about that image. Everything is about that kind of surface thing, and I feel like that is one of the important things that I think Reverse has to offer, like specifically in putting the group together. Like Monroe was saying, like I called her specifically because she was exactly how she was. I was like, it's even beyond just plus size. I mean, that is a thing, but it was like I wanted a superstar that the world has never seen, specifically in a pop group. We've never seen a female leading a group that didn't look like every other girl that we saw. And it's not just about being plus size. It was her entire
everything, the
embodiment.
Package, everything.
Exactly.
Right?
And that goes for Khadijah and Zach as well.
Exactly. And not to dodge a question, when was your dark time?
I am the last one to dodge. I will be the first one to speak.
I know, that's what I love about you.
My dark time was from my teens, well into my 20s, and you know, just being in the industry, because I've been in this my whole life, and you know, working with different people in the industry, you know, there's always a mold, you know, and it's funny because you think that you're the only one that they're gonna pick on me because I'm plus size, or because I'm this, or because I'm whatever. Like everybody, no matter who you are, what you are, they will always find something. You can be the most quote unquote beautiful or handsome guy or whatever in the world, they're gonna find something.
They'll find something.
For me, it was being told, being in this industry, you're too dark skinned, you know, you're too short, you're too this. I was told everything. I had many complexes that I developed from working with different management, and at one point it really just kind of destroyed me and broke me down, and I had to get to a point where I was essentially the most angry and defensive person that I didn't want to be around myself, you know? And it's once I felt like I didn't want to be around myself, I had amazing people who came into my life and just kind of like took me by the shoulders and said, you are beautiful and fine and perfect how you are.
Just how
Sorry,
you are.
I should mention also being a black gay man as an artist.
Right. Look how many things.
Is probably one of the biggest things. You know, I don't have a relationship with my family over that, and it has come into play with what we do in the music industry. And I've just decided, you know, at one point, like we're like, you know what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna forge our own path. We're gonna make it happen. No matter what, because we know our worth and our value, and here we are. We're sitting in front of you.
Look at you now. Look where you guys are now, right?
Our own thing, and we're making it happen.
You're making it happen. And do you still face some of those things today? Like, do you still face some?
You know what? I can't say that I do, because I mean, I don't think I look for it. I don't care.
I know you're gonna say yes.
I just don't care. So like, even if it is in front of me, I'm not gonna see it.
I'm not facing it. It's
there. I'm not
gonna
see
facing it. Right? Exactly. It could be there all at once, but you're not dealing with it.
I am who I am. I can't change it. You know, I was born. I didn't. All of what I am, I didn't choose. The only thing I chose is my behavior, my choices, your
decisions.
But everything else, it is what it is.
Right. I love that.
And I'm here and I'm happy.
You're here and I'm happy. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Miss Khadijah.
Oh yes.
Trini, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Our question is that we're talking about, as you know, but just for people who have just jumped on the line, a lot of people are joining us. We're talking about Reverse, this amazing group that I just absolutely love, and they're so, not only are their vocals so powerful and amazing, and they're creative, they are I don't know, it's something about your message about self-acceptance. And when you reached out to me, people on the line are asking how we met, and it was that divine intervention how we met. And what I love about how we met is I didn't see your message in the beginning because I wasn't supposed to see your message in the beginning. We're supposed to be...
The timing was perfect.
It was perfect. Yeah. And we guys just came on the line. We spent a night and just hung out at our downtown condo, and we just shared our experiences about some of the things and pains that we went through. And you and I have something in common. We have something much in common. And tell us about a time that you struggled with self-acceptance and how you got over that.
Yeah, I think for me, the realization of what self-acceptance is came, I think there were just a lot of things going on all at once. For me, I had a child, which wasn't exactly in my game plan. We were working on our career and we were trying to do things, and then I got pregnant. So having a child, being a woman who is an artist in the industry, and what does that mean as a woman, and being a mother now, and how are people looking at me now as opposed to being that chick, now I'm that mom, what does that mean? My body changed, and that changed how we styled, how my choreography, my everything. Like I just lost my identity in what am I supposed to be as a female artist. And then at the same time, I was going through a divorce. So
and we talked about it at the beginning of the show, right?
That entire conversation before we came in here, I was like, standing out the window, like, yes, everything.
Really watching, okay.
Yes. So yeah, but understanding that and kind of that whole process, I took a couple years to really figure out who am I, like what do I want in terms of myself, in terms of my relationships with other people, in terms of being an artist and a mother, and how do I balance that? And even on the way here, we were talking about that just this afternoon of like still trying to find that balance of being a mother, being there with my very young son, but also committing myself to my career and what it is that we're doing and what our goals are and what our vision is for ourselves. Like all of that all kind of hit me at once, and it was
crazy.
Rough. It was a rough year.
When was that? Just to share with our viewers, how long
that was about, my son's 4 now, so about 3 years ago.
So that was about my time frame too, 5 years ago, right? And talking about balance, I'm on the show with you guys right now, and I'm messaging my son who's watching, and I'm like, don't forget the dinner on the stove, and I'm doing it from the show. I'm parenting from the show, and you gotta do what you gotta do. Exactly. Right? You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. Speaking of what you gotta do, guys, I posted this morning that to the viewers, people were messaging me about, I said I had a special surprise at the end of the show. And usually at the end of the show, as my viewers know, I ended off with this powerful quote for us to meditate on, and I leave you with something to reflect on. But tonight, I'm going to switch it up just a little bit. I'm not going to leave you with a quote, but I'm going to leave you with a powerhouse song that I won't be involved in. Y'all know I don't sing, but I'm going to
sing along at home if they want to.
Right, they can sing along at home. You can sing along at home, and you guys, you have a CD out, right? And you have an event coming up on the 9th. So you guys, if you want to get more of what you're about to hear, you can reach out to them and get their CD or come out to their show on the 9th downtown Toronto.
Can I actually so our EP that we just recently released, Glad to Meet You 2.0, is available on Spotify, on Apple Music. Okay. Just Google it, Glad to Meet You 2.0 by Reverse, RIVERAC. And aside from that, we are performing at the Distillery District's Toronto Christmas Market on December 9th, 3:30 and 4:30 p.m. So
awesome! I'm gonna love that. So, and then you're gonna do it also on Frequency 5 FM. You're gonna sing here. So I'm just gonna come out of your way and let you guys take the floor, and I'm just gonna. And guys, what do you? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stay. Yeah. So I'm gonna stay and look pretty. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna stay and look pretty. Yeah.
You can mouth the words and be our 5th member.
Or I'll just reply to all the messages, all the viewers. Yes. You guys sing, I'll do me. I'll do me. Okay. So what's the name of this song? And guys, there's a message in the song, so I want you to listen. What is the title of the song you're gonna share with us?
This song is called Born This Way by Lady Gaga.
Born This Way. We were just talking about that. Born This Way, right? Self-acceptance.
Absolutely.
Guys, do you. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
My mama told me when I was young, We were all born superstars. She rolled my hair, put my lipstick on in the glass of her boudoir. There's nothing wrong with loving who you are, she said, 'cause he made you perfect, babe. So hold your head up, girl, and you'll go far. Listen to me when we say I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause God makes no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't hide yourself and regret, just love yourself. And he said, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Ooh, there ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Baby, I was born this way. Born this way. Ooh, there ain't no other way, baby, I was born. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way.
Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen.
Don't be.
Don't be.
Give yourself prudence and love your friends, so wicked rejoice your truth.
In the religion of the insecure,
I must be myself, respect my youth. Oh yeah. A different lover is not a sin. Believe capital H-I-M.
hey, 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 I love my life, I love this record, and mi amore fly. I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause God makes no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't hide yourself and regret, just love yourself. And he said, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Ooh, there ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Baby, I was born this way. Born this way. Ooh, there ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way.
Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Whether you're broke or evergreen, you're black, white, beige, chola descent, you're Lebanese, you're Orient. Whether life's disabilities left you outcast, bullied or teased, rejoice and love yourself today, 'cause baby, you were born this way.
No matter gay, straight or bi, lesbian, transgender life, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born to survive.
No matter black, white or beige, chola or Orient, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born to be brave. I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause God makes no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't hide yourself and regret, just love yourself. And he said, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Born this way, I was born this way. I'm on the right track, baby. Born this way, I was born this way. Ooh, ooh,
Bye.